this. Shalom, Israel. Yah Ba'Shem Yahshua Rakatah to the Akim. Yah Shema Atham Ba'Shem Yahshua to the Akwathim. This is the Lashawan Qadash, the Holy Tongue. This is the Hebrew class. Let's clap it up for the Lord. This is Precinct Officer Paratazar out of Yonkers, New York, holding it down for Precinct Officer of 5,000, Hazahab, Officer Hazahab. Right now, I'm holding down until he's ready. So you know how we start. We start with the alphabet and get our brothers and sisters familiar with the alphabet. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start off. We're going to start off with the ancient Hebrew, and then we're going to go into the Syrian. So right now, I'm going to start this. See how this look? All right, that's pretty good right there. All right. Let's get the black one also. Black one. Black is no good. Look. Oh, that's pretty good. All right. Here we go. All right. Start off.
You give us more space between the next line.
A little bit bigger. Like
Yeah,
this
just bring this line like down here.
Come.
You're gonna try to do.
Come. I see what exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
So it's space between it.
Right. And usually we'll try to do like 11 on the top, 11 at the bottom.
Oh yes. Come.
Don't worry about that today.
Come. All right, I'm gonna look online. Okay, let me get a one that you can hear me, and also can you see the ancient Hebrew? Let me get a one if you can see the Hebrew and you can hear me. Baba Kushar. All right, let's see here. All right, what's going on? Chantel Love, what's going on? Denisha Jones, what's going on? Let's see here. Captain Jones, what's going on? Shalom. Is that Yaka Tazab? 1 West, 125th Street. Shalom. One. The water. All right, the water.
You keep going?
Yeah, come. All right, here we go. And we're going to put the sounds of the sounds of these characters here. All right, the sound. So we're gonna go with this. Ka, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, ta. All right, this is it right here. I'm gonna give you a minute to write it down, look at it, so you get familiar with the characters. This is also, this is all for the brothers and sisters who started off at the beginning. So it looked way unfamiliar, but this is the sounds right here, and I'm gonna go through it with you. So I'm gonna give you a minute. I'm gonna give you a minute to look at the characters, get familiar with it. All right, and I'm gonna do the rundown of the sounds. Now here we go. First one, this is a little system that I do, so you get the rhythm of that. You can say it by yourself. All right, so we're gonna say a, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, na, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, ta. You got it? We're going to go through it one more time. Here we go. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, na, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, ta. You got it? Nice little rhythm. Here you go. I'll give you a minute. Write it down. Then we're going to change to the Syrian. We're going to change it to the Syrian. All right. You got it? I'm about to erase it.
Don't erase it.
I'm going to erase it. Put the Syrian on.
You want to put this here like in between or something like that. You got roll right there in between.
Yeah, this row right here.
Yeah, you could put the Syrian there, and then you could put the rest of the Syrian from side to top, underneath the English letter that day.
Oh, underneath here.
Yeah.
Then underneath here.
Underneath there.
Come. Oh, I can leave it. Oh, come.
Yeah.
Come.
That space was there was very crucial.
I'm learning, sir.
Most times,
Sign Christ. Here we go. Now we're gonna write the Assyrian. Sure. This one.
you gotta fix that the R right there, right? The R.
The R.
Yeah, the R. The diagonal is straight, and then the two extras are
Like
curved.
okay.
Yeah, just look at the paper. Don't look at the handwritten one. Look at the one that's not handwritten.
Come. Oh, come. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, that handwritten one is someone else's handwriting. You gotta have your own handwriting. You know what I mean? Yeah, bring it around like a little semicircle, like kind of thing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the other way. That's how you do it.
Come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make them edges touch too. All of the corners. Yeah, make them touch. No, not yeah. But just the other end.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah.
Come.
Because you gotta read it. And, you know.
Yeah, let me get-
Yeah, that's good right there. And that za too. That za needs to be the top of the za. The bottom needs to be more straight, and the top of the za gonna be more like also semicircle, but touching the top of that thing right there.
Come. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's good. The at the top right of the za. Just rub off a little bit of the top right there.
Right here.
Yeah.
A little bit
A little
more.
more. Yeah, let me see that. That's good right there.
Come.
Oh, then you got too much going up like this. It doesn't go exactly up like this. So take off that tip at the top there. A little more. Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, throughout all one.
No sweat.
Okay, we got this.
Yeah, everything else is perfect.
All right. Can I get a Barbara Koshar? Can I get a 1 if you can see this clearly, and then do it make sense? Do it make sense? You want to make sure there's nothing really don't look bunched up.
Oops, Josh. Let's go all the way up. All the way up.
Okay.
You can keep going. You can.
Oh, come on. So right now, I know if you see the ka, the ma, separate. This right here. This is important. All right. So right now you see the ka, the ma, the pa, and the tazah. You see it look unique over here, right? Look different from the other Syrian characters. Look, it's by itself. But you notice that it have two. The Syrian have 2 kas, 2 mas, 2 na, 2 pa, and 2 tazah. Now when you see this, when you see these characters right here, they're usually at the end of a word. They're at the end of the word. So when you're reading the Assyrian in the Tanakh, you will see these characters at the end of a word. Like, like my name. My name is Paratazah. So it ends with a tazah. So this is the incorrect way that you would write it in the Assyrian. Let's start off with the ancient Hebrew first. All right, so we're going to say pa, ancient Hebrew, pa, ra, tazah.
When you get a chance, you can get to the Feast of First Fruits, right?
The Feast of First Fruits?
Feast of First Fruits.
Oh, okay.
Feast of First Fruits, right?
Come.
You got 2 minutes now.
Oh, come. So this is the ancient way, how you write my name? Pa-ra-tazah. Pa-ra-tazah. You see these little semicircles at the bottom to let you know it's the sound that's sitting by itself. It's a sound that's sitting by itself. There's nothing connected to that sound.
The tazah, right?
Come.
If you commit the top part of the tazah, look more like a Z.
More like a Z. Come.
Give the okay, no sir. No crap, right? Okay. As first as I was breaking on his name over here, Paratazah in the Hebrew is the word which means breakthrough. Right? Breakthrough. Right? And this is something that we all need to do. Of course, we're going to come into the truth with all of our various difficulties. A lot of us have suffered various traumas in your life. A lot of us have been exposed to some of the silly doctrines of man in the earth. And we have to break out of that and break through the thing that's trying to hold us in that world, all right? Also, don't forget, any questions you have online, please put them in the chat, YouTube chat, Paratazah. Right, hold on, let me fix this right here. Right, Paratazah. Right? As you know, we have the pa here, pa, ra, and the tazah. Right? The tazah, right? Like that, right? Good. Okay. Good. So I want to go over the Feast of First Fruits, the Feast of Harvest, the Feast of Weeks. All right. Okay. Before we do that, we want to, as usual, we want to complete our understanding of the alphabet because we can lose it. It's very easy to lose your language. The entire book of, I wouldn't say the entire book, but a strong part of the book, the most memorable part of the book of Nehemiah is about how we was losing our language. All right? And even today, you might see children that come from, they might be Israelites, but they come from another country other than the States, move to the States, and within one generation will forget the language of their mothers or their fathers, all right? Okay, right? So we got A is for Allah, right? Which is the figure of a cow, right? Allah means around the top, right? I'll leave it there, right? Which is a cow. This is a cow. This is the figure of a cow, right? This is the figure of a tent, right? This is the figure of a tent, right? Tent in Hebrew is bayath, right? Bayath, right? Over here we have the hump of a camel, right? So this is the hump of a camel, right? Hump of a camel. Camel in Hebrew is gamal, right? Gamal. Over here we have the figure of a door of a tent, right? A tent is a triangular shape, right? When you make a tent, it's a triangular shape when you look at it from the front, right? And the door of a tent would be the leather being pulled apart if it's made out of leather, right? So this is dalah, right? Dalah. And dalah in Hebrew is door, right? Ha is the figure of someone presenting something with his hand, right? Basically doing this with his hand, right? Presenting something. And in Hebrew, that is, I wrote the other way around, right? Let me keep it in the same order. Right, door. Right, door, the last down here, we got the Hebrew interpretation at the bottom right here. Right? Up here we have the word, which in English will be behold. Behold. Very, very, very extremely common word in Hebrew. Behold in the Hebrew is written as hana. Right? In the Hebrew, extremely common word. You're gonna read this everywhere. Everywhere where you read in the scriptures, you might say lo. Lo or look or behold. You're gonna see hana. Right? What else is this? This is a wawa is a fish's hook. Alright, a fish hook. Right? In Hebrew that is wow, right? Wow or wow, right? And then you have za. Za is a weapon. Weapon. Right? A weapon in Hebrew is Zion. Okay? Ka is a figure of a fence. In the Hebrew, kawama. Kawama. Kind of tight space at the top there, brothers.
It's a lot.
Always remember when you make 2 rows, you just know, you got 22. You got 22 characters. Just always remember it's 22. Split it in half.
So
Yeah, man.
I was, Salaki, sir, if I may,
Yeah.
I was trying to get as close to the top as possible.
Okay.
I'm a little short.
Okay. Kawama, the fence. All right. Ta is for. Did it around again, right? Oh my gosh, right? The figure ta, right, is the figure of the bottom of a basket. Your grandmothers was making this in slavery. making the round bottom of a basket, which is this figure right here. Right? Right? A basket. Basket in Hebrew is ta-na'ah, right? Ta-na'ah. Of course, we see what we're doing here is the sounds that every Hebrew character makes ends up being the first syllable of the word that it comes from. So A is for Allah, Ba is for Bayah, Ga is for Gamal, Da is for Zalat, Ha is for Hana, Wa is for Wow, Za is for Zayan, Ka is for Kauma, and Ta is for Tana'ah. Alright? Ya is the figure of a hand. Right? In the Hebrew, it is Yad. Right? Yad is how you say hand in Hebrew. Then we have here the Ka, which is for the palm of your hand. Palm of your hand. Right? Referring to the roundness of your hand, and then the markings in the middle of your hand. Right? This is the figure. This is that figure. The palm of your hand. And when I was looking it up, the significance of things being in the palm of your hand will be your work. Work cannot be done without the palm of your hands. Work is not done by elbows and knees and joints. Work is done by the palm of your hands. Right? La is for the word la is lamad. Right? Lamad. And lamad in Hebrew means learn. Learn. Right? Of course, you got the word teach. Right? Teach is yara. I think this pen is dying on me. Right? Yara. Yara. Teach. Right? And learn is lamad. Right? Mayam is water. Right? And ma, very tight over here. Very, very tight. Correct. Ma is for Mayam.
Salak, you other one?
Okay.
Yeah, we have a question.
Okay. Okay. We can get the question.
Come. All right. This question was from Egypt to Israel.
Okay.
Question: What does the suffix shy means?
Shy.
Oh yeah, or shy, like Yahweh shy. Shy.
Okay.
Like Yahweh shy.
A lot of people, from what I've seen conversations with people, what he might be getting at is he knows the Lord's name is Yahweh, right?
Come.
Yahweh. It's the Lord's name. It's God's name, right? According to the Bible. This is God's name, right? Written so. Yahweh. Right? Now, I need a bit of pen, man.
The red one also is pretty good.
The red one right here?
Yeah, come.
Okay. Sorry, enough. Right? Now, what people in the ignorance, because they know that Yahweh is the Son of God, so they look at Yahweh as God and Yahweh as Son of God, which is wrong. Yahweh's the name, God's name, Yahweh, does not mean God. God in Hebrew, right, is Allah. That's how you say God in Hebrew. Allah. I mean, like so. Allah. Without the H, of course. Right? And La. Right? And I have to say without the H because then you have Allah with the H based on my observation. Allah is like it's saying these with the H on the end. So there's two Allahs, all right? The one that is God is Allah, right? God is not Yahweh. Now you only see in the King James Version. Okay, let me not get too far off track, right? Breaking down Yahweh's name, right? Shai in itself, which is not part of Yahweh's name, right? Shai by itself, Shai, right? Shai means hour, or a lot of times it'll be referenced to time, right? So it could be a time of fun, hour of fun. You see what I'm saying? You have a name in the Bible called Abishai or Abishai, right? And Abishai means father's joy. But when you break it down, father's hour, because when it's your hour, it's the time when you have fun. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. When it's, we got our holy days. And those are holy days sanctified by the Most High. But all your time doesn't go to your crops and your sheep and your TV and your PlayStation 4. It goes to talking about the things that the Lord did for us. Those are the Lord's hours. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? Right? So Shai means hour by itself. That's what he asked. He asked about what does the Shai mean? Shai means hour. All right? Now, Yahweh Shai's name, right? Number one, Yahweh Shai, which is what the name Yahweh Shai consists of, right? Is deliverer, savior, right? Savior or deliverer, right? Because a deliverer delivers his people from trouble. A savior saves his people from trouble, right? Let's put it in the wrong. The deliverer, right? Deliverer, right? That's Hawashai, right? Also rooted in the word Yeshai, right? It's the same thing as how you get the word Yeshaya, right? These names are the same basis. And then, of course, just like any blended name, Yah at the beginning of a word means he. All right? So he's looking at the suffix when there's no suffix for Shai. There's no suffix that says Shai. There's none. That's not in the rule as a suffix. Shai as a suffix. Of course, these are names, so names might consist of a prefix or a suffix. By prefix and suffix, he means prefix being prepositions, suffix being possessives. Shai is not a possessive. It's not a suffix. All right, it does not fall in. It does not fall in the list of suffixes. So I guess before we go to the breakdown of the feast of first fruits, feast of harvest, feast of weeks, we're gonna go into suffixes. It's a good thing to always go over, right? Okay. So give you a chance to write down what's on the board. I'm gonna erase the top, right? How far you got? You doing that again? You do that a week. Okay. Oh, we didn't go over the ones at the bottom over here, right? Let me fill these in. So mark is means establish. Establish, right? It's a figure of flag, of course. The flag in Hebrew is sawak. Sawak is the word for a flag, of course. Words in Hebrew can mean more than one thing based on its significance visually, right? A flag might signal a council. You got words for sawak, which means council, but the basis of the word sawak is flag. All right? I, right, is for ayan. Right? Ayan is an I. Right? Pa is for pa, which is your mouth. Taza, we wrote the taza like an R. Right? You write the thing on the top here like a Z, right? Where's the black? Uniform. Okay. Tazad is from Tazad. Tazad, which means side. Right? Kwa is for Kwawash, which means snare. It's not the same as a trap, because a trap could be a holy falling, while a snare is something that you walk on and it catches you, right? You're just talking about the name that they made for this certain kind of thing, all right? Ra is for Ra'ash. Ra'ash is head. Sha is for Shan, which is teeth or tooth, right? Because singular, right? Tooth. And then Tha is for Thou, which is mark, like the mark of the Most High in Ezekiel, the mark of the beast in Revelation. Mark is Thou, right? And of course, just like we said before, in all of these words in the Hebrew, the figure was known to be marked verbally by the first syllable of that word that the figure came from, all right? So, of course, for samak, a figure of a flag which is used to establish a place. The white man establishes dominion on the moon. You put the flag on the moon to say he established dominion on this side of the moon with a flag. And the Hebrew word for establish is samak. So samak, you see this right here? Sa. I, your physical eye, right? In Hebrew is ayan. The first syllable of ayan is I. That's how you get I, right? Pa is your mouth. The first syllable of pa ha, right, is pa, right? And the figure is a figure of your mouth. Taza, the same thing, right? As long as these are one syllable, you took the first syllable of the word tazad, right? Tazad means side. The first syllable of tazad is tazah, right? Which is the figure of a man on his side, lying down. Initially, it was written like this, where a man is lying on his side with his leg out. That's what people do when they lie on their side, right? That's how it was written in the beginning. Over time, of course, language got more convenient, all right? Whether it's our language or the others. Kwa, the first syllable of kwawash is kwa. Kwawash, the figures of a snare. The first syllable of ra'ash, right? Ra'ash is your head. The first syllable of ra'ash is ra. The first syllable of the word shan, which means tooth, is sha. Shanna, right? The first syllable is sha. It's a figure of tooth, sharp front teeth. All right, of course, the last one, thou, thou. As you know, you drop off the ah after when the first and the second character is connected. You got the da, and you got the wa, right? Right? Connected like this, you'll drop the, of course, it's the wa, right? If the word is connected, you drop the ah off of the wa, and you're left with the wa sound. So we got thou, 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 all right? Thou. It's not to, right? I know we're in America. I know we're used to working our mouths the American way, you know what I mean, and creating different vowel sounds with the, you know, that's not what we're doing. I know we're in a heathen language. We speak a heathen language, right? Da, remains the same, and then you got the wa sound. So we got da, wa, thou, thou. All right, that's how you say mark. Okay, good. Okay. Now we want to get down with what is called the possessives. The possessives. Possessives. All right. Someone should to make sure I'm spelling possessives correct in the English, please. Is out. There's two S's here, I'm not sure. Something is telling me I got an extra S there. All right. So another scripture says to be temperate in all things. And possessives is what in the white man's academic world of language, he would call this a suffix. We don't call this a suffix. Suffix takes away from what it is. When you say stuff like suffix, then you can be led to think that something that's not a possessive can be a suffix. You see what I'm saying? So we don't call it a suffix. Right? Anybody who's really knows Hebrew culture, knows Israelite culture, we don't go by the word suffix ever, because that is very English to do, and we're not Englishmen. Right? We're not Americans. I don't care if you're born from New York to California to Idaho to Florida to Nebraska to Omaha, Nebraska, right? You are not an American because you was carried as slaves. It's not your culture. Go ahead, Pratizan.
It's Tua. It's Tua.
What's Tua?
The spelling.
Spelling, most of correct, right? Okay. All possessives. We're gonna start in alphabetical order, right? So we got is a possessive, a suffix. Can you write the end of a word? No. Right? What about ba? Is ba a possessive? A possessive at the end of a word?
Oh no.
Wrong. You're correct. We do not write ba at the end of a word. What about ga? Right? Is ga a possessive? No, ga is not a possessive. What about da? Is da a possessive? Okay, for what?
For do.
Wrong. Da is a, I get what you're going, da is a preposition. Right? What the white man will call a prefix. Right? For do. Right? So for that, you are correct about what you're saying, but it's not a possessive. All right? No problem. What's after da? Abagada. Ha. Is ha a possessive? How do you know? Because I took the lid off my pen? Ha is a possessive. A possessive for what, though? It sounds just like what it says in English. If you say ha, what am I saying? In your black language, in your black Ebonics dialect, if I say ha, what am I saying in English? Ha. Her. There you go. Give right. There you go. That's right. All right. I know there's not a lot of Teddy. You clap it up for the sister. She got it right. And there you go. ha is her as a possessive. All right? What's after ha?
Wait, I'm confused.
Abagada.
No.
Ha.
Ha is a possessive because it's referring to her.
No. Hebrew's first. Right? So it's not because of what her is. Her came from ha. All right? Because ha is within the language that was in the roots. So everything today, right, is going back to its roots. All right? That's what our job is. Our job is to look for the old path. You see what I'm saying? And I don't care what it is. If I can make you remember it, I'm teaching it. All right? As long as it's right and it cannot be proven wrong. If it helps, I'm teaching it. Now, number one, English is born out of Hebrew. That's a fact. Right? English is born out of Hebrew. All right? The Lord cast us out into the nations and made many nations of ourselves. So the Israelites grew up in the Holy Roman Empire, and in the Holy Roman Empire went out and conquered Europe, right? And built the Holy Roman Empires of England and Scotland and France and Germany and Spain and Portugal, right? All the way up to Russia, right? And along the way, right, we was developing our own languages out of the Latin there. You see what I'm saying? So of course the Roman evolved the Latin, and the Latin, with the Israelites being divided by the Most High into many nations, so you can understand each other because you're against the Lord, being Christians, right? Now you speak all these different things. You see what I'm saying? Now you're Latin, you united in being a Roman, a Roman citizen, right? Trying to do your best to be with the Lord, right? Making mistakes and failures all the way. And you get divided by the Lord because the Lord always divides sinners against themselves. You should go one way against the enemy and flee seven. See what I'm saying? So you go against the enemy, right, together, and you're going to leave in 7 different languages: English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, German, Russian, what else is there? Whatever there is, right? Whatever is, what's the Gaelic? Right, or one of them weird European languages, right? Okay, right? And they came out of the curses of the Israelites. Okay. The slave master, the Caucasian man, the European man, the Edomite, right? He was made to just take someone else's culture. So whatever millions of languages he's speaking, he took it from someone else. He's not a developer of languages. He's not a developer of anything other than murder. Right? Okay, good. But after ha, we have abagada ha, wa. Is wa a possessive? Wa. Don't be shy to look in your notes, anybody, right? Anybody online, don't be shy to look in your notes. Is wa a possessive? Because the brother asked the question, is shy possessive? Or the suffix of shy? Right? So it's good to know these things. And shy would not be called a possessive. Shy in itself would be a root word. Right? Root word that consists of 2 Hebrew characters. And root words usually and always consist of either 2 or 3 Hebrew characters, right? Okay. We have wa, which is the possessive to say the opposite of her, which is him or his. Right? Good, right? So we got time going against us. So we're gonna try to move on, little sister. We got 8 o'clock on the clock. All right? Abagada ha wa za. Is za a possessive? No. Come on, very good. Right? Abagada ha wa za. Ka. Is ka a possessive? No. Very good. Abagada ha wa za. Ka ta. Is ta a possessive? It's not. Very good. Abagada hawaza kata ya. Is ya a possessive? Ya is the main possessive. Right? Ya is the main possessive to say my. A lot of times also used as buffers, as a buffer between possessives, right? Buffer also, right? We put also a buffer, right? Between other possessives, if the sound, from what I'm seeing, right? If the sound is too difficult to pronounce between the possessive and the word it's joined onto, right? Also used as, let me put it underneath, right? So we're gonna move to the other side of the board, right? Also used as a buffer, right? For pronunciation's sake, for pronunciation. Of course, to speak any language, you need a consistent flow of understanding what you're trying to communicate to the next person. If there's any miscommunication, you will have a fight and you have a war, which is what usually happens when two groups of people that don't speak the same language are stuck in the same space. And if they can't understand each other, there will be no meter to reason. And you look at the next person as doing something that is unreasonable, and then there will be the and all of the moves that Protestants would do. Because of course, Protestants is a reputable, right, very strong and very well learned fighter, all right? Okay? Trained in how many martial arts? All of them. Good, nice. Just say all in Hebrew. all in Hebrew is kal. Kal is the word for all. Kal, right? Kal is the word for all. All right. So we now to Ya on the alphabet line, right? Abagada ha wa zakataya ka. Is ka a possessive? Yes. He said kawukan, and he is correct. Ka is a possessive, very, very common, very as common as saying you, your, you're damn right. Your, and in many instances will be used as you. Right? Because this is not English. Right? This is not English. Right? Just think of a child trying to learn a language, and he might not know English very good, and you give him a book, and you say, this is your book, and you say, no, this, you book, to you, you book. Or even someone who's not from here, his language is another language, and he learned the base of English, he knows about me and you, or I and you. So anything that belongs, anything that's yours, he would have say you. Right? And that's what we got going on in Hebrew here. Ka is your and you. All right? As this is exercised in the brothers and sisters throughout the 12 tribes who do not speak actively good, perfect American, royal, elegant, regal American English. All right? So you go to other places where you speak Spanish or English that is not highly regulated by the slave master. You're going to get people who say things as you for your. You go to a Spanish country, and anything that's yours, they will just say tú, right? Tú, right? We got a Spanish speaker in the room, Hamania, right? And if to say something is yours, they'll just say tú in Spanish. But when you go to Spain, saying something is yours, to say tú, which really means you, right, is incorrect according to perfect, good Spaniard Spanish, where they instead of saying tú, they require you to say su, right? Su, which is yours in Spanish, right? Of course, we don't have that kind of build in Hebrew. Ka is you, right? Ka is your and you, right? So it'd be good to just say that this is talking about you, right? And now this goes for all across the board. Ha, her, is she. Right? Wa is he. Right? Ya, in many instances, can mean I. Right? Can mean I. Okay? Okay, let me not confuse you with that part. Let me not confuse that part. Only because we have the preposition are. Right? I don't, so just keep ya in mind. Alright? Right? But for all the other instances, make sure you remember these because you are going to see that in a lot of places. Alright? For these, you also have the prepositions for these also, right? But this is what is going on here, right? Said he, you have Amarwa, which is he said, right? You're not going to really see, you see Ya Amar and he said. Okay, so let me keep on that notice then, so we don't confuse people, right? But then you do have the ka as you. The ka is always you. La ka. It's in the Hebrew, it's in the Lord's Prayer and everything, right? La ka. Okay, no problem. Let's keep going, all right? So after this, we're gonna get the prepositions, right? Okay, so we can understand the other end of what I'm trying to get to, right? We're down to ka, abagada, ha, wa, za, kataya, right? Ka, and what's after ka is la. Is la a possessive? La is not a possessive, right? Kataya, ka, la, ma. Is ma a possessive? Is ma a possessive? It's not a possessive, you sure? What about some notes? Let me see some notes here. Go ahead, President. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't remember. I think ma was there and I think na was there. Right? We have the words for there, right? But you have hum. Right? Let me double check. All right, let me double check. Now, the reason why, okay, I can't remember this in particular because you won't see ma consistently as a possessive. All right? And it might be good to stay on the ones that we consistently see. As tomorrow morning is the Sabbath service, and Sunday is the high holy day, right? And my job in teaching Hebrew on a Friday is to prepare you to read on the Sabbath service. And there's going to be a Sabbath service on every high holy day, right? So the curriculum that I have to come up with will be one that helps you to properly interpret the things that you will see when you're reading the Torah and the Tanakh on the Sabbath days, including the high holy days, when you got to actively read the Hebrew. So in my notes, ma is a possessive, but I want to not write that, and I want to go to the ones that we actively need, right? So we got la, ma, and na, right? And we got sa. Is sa a possessive? Sa is not a possessive, right? What about I? Well, now we know to the ones that we got on board. I is not a possessive. Pa is not a possessive. Tazai is not a possessive, right? I don't think we have any possessives left, right? Other than the one that consists of two syllables, right? Or two Hebrew characters, right? So let me get to those. Besides kam, we got kam. We got kam, and then we got kan. Right? Do we know what kam and kan is? I'll give you a clue. It's related. Well, go on.
Slaki, so if I may,
Yeah.
obviously, con is yes.
Well, kan is yes. Okay, let me let's get some more room on the board, right? Con is yes. Con could be other things. When you read thus saith the Lord, right? Or it was thus the Lord dealt with them, right? Con is written as thus, thus. All right. Con is also written as yes, right? But now we're talking about possessives. When you say con out of one con, you're not saying a possessive. All right. Now it's very important to why the curriculum of UPK calls these possessives, because they denote a person that you're referring to, and the thing that might belong to a person, whether the thing that's belonging to that person is even a speech. You see what I'm saying? Who said that? Whose speech was that? Was that your speech or his speech? Possessives. All right? Was that your thought or his thought? Possessive. So you don't even gotta be a thing. But possessives come into play all the time. You know what I mean? Found what? Oh, okay.
Y'all.
Oh, okay, you're absolutely right. Your sister got it right. Come is y'all. There you go. Not even y'all is not provided in English. Y'all is bad English in English. You go to school and say you write y'all on your English right literature essay, you're getting bad marks for using this bad nigger kind of language on your test. You see what I'm saying? On your, you get a down mark for that. Or mark down, right? That's what they say in English, right? Mark down. You see what I'm saying? He was reading your paper like, yeah, it's really good. But they get an A plus, oops, y'all, oops, B minus. You know what I mean? Now, y'all is for the masculine, and by masculine, right? Don't think of the oppressor's way of saying masculine, right? Think of rank order, meaning there could be men and women in the room, but of course their reference is going to go to the higher rank by gender. So a mixed crowd is also come to say y'all, come, right? And then you have con, which is y'all also, right? Y'all, but exclusively for the female, right? For feminine, right? I mean, there's only women in the room, con. Right? So I'm talking to only women, right? That's con. Now, besides that, you got hum and you got han. Do we remember what hum and han is? Right? These are possessive, meaning what? When you're reading this, right, you're only gonna see any of these to mean these, right? When it's written behind the word. So I'm gonna write a little dash here to say this is attached to a word, right? Attached to the behind of a word, so there'll be a word in front of any of these to make it illegible to be referred to as a possessive. Okay? Han and han, what are they? Oh, cheating. Okay? My name is Isupk. Okay? Okay. Oh, by the way, brother, right? The brother wrote on about Yahweh and Yahweh Shai as son of the Most High. Son in Hebrew is ban, right? That's how you write son in Hebrew, right? Son in Hebrew is ban, so Yahweh Shai doesn't break down as son of the Most High. When Yahweh Shai was given his name, right? Just like anyone, when anyone's given a name, there's a breakdown of what that name means. When Yahushua was being born, his name was not Son of God. That's not the breakdown of his name. Right? Who else is named Yahushua? Joshua in the Old Testament from the tribe of Ephraim, who was the leader of Israel, right? And he was never called King Joshua, right? But he was the leader of Israel in his day, just like Commander Jehoiada is the leader of Israel today, and Commander Jehoiada is not the king, but he's the leader of Israel. Yeah, Joshua in the Old Testament was the leader of Israel, and he was not king. He was not called a king. He had the position of a king, as the Israelites wanted the king. But I don't remember anything saying that he was the king of Israel. I don't. It might just be my overlooking or my just not knowing. But I have no reference of Joshua being the king of Israel as saying the king of Israel. You see what I'm saying? But he was the leader, and a king is a leader of a nation, right? And Yahushua is not the king, as Yahushua is the king. Commander Jehoiada is not the king, because Commander Jehoiada will teach you that Yahushua is the king. Okay? There's a precept that says, "Stick of the tongue, not of the heart." All right? Ham means, say it again. There. Very good. Right? There, masculine. Very good. Right? Masculine. There. And what is Han? Han will be there, feminine. Right? Right? With the same rules apply to what I wrote up here. Of course, if it's a mixed crowd, there, right, will be in the masculine because there's men there. Han will be in the feminine because there's no men there. All right? Good, right? So for the possessives, this is all you need to know for now. I'm missing one. Give me a clue. No. Wrap it up. That's very good. That's very good. Right? That goes over here with we. Right? We got nawa. Right? Nawa. Which means we, us, our. Right? Of course, same thing. We're going to write 1, we, 2, us, 3, our, because this is English. Where you got to write all these things to mean, different tenses or terms, right? But in Hebrew, right, in our barbarian, what the white man will call the barbarian language, right, everything is just nawa. We is nawa. Us, nawa. Ours, nawa. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like patwa. You know what I mean? Okay. In patwa, they just say we. Us is we. Our is we. You see what I'm saying? Just like that, right? What is it in Spanish? Nosotros. Us is in Spanish, nosotros. Ours in Spanish, nuestros is sound like nosotros. Nuestros. Okay, so nuestros is our. Okay, good. Right? But what's we in Spanish again? That's nosotros, right? So nosotros, nosotros, nuestros. Okay, no problem. And that is the Spanish language, all right? No problem, all right? Before the Spanish came, the Incas and the Mayans, right? They had their own languages, which is also birthed out of the Hebrew, right? Some of them maintained it, some of them lost it because the Lord made many nations out of us again. All right? Okay? Good, right? We still want to get the Feast of Fruits, Feast of Harvest. Let me check any questions online. You get a chance to write it down.
How would you write come in Hebrew?
Say it again.
How would you write it in Hebrew?
How do you write what?
Come.
Come?
Come, con. Like, how would you write it?
Okay.
Like, how would it look?
Some examples, okay. Hold on. So this is, say like this is y'all, what could, y'all son?
Yeah, you said son, right?
So this is y'all child. Because it could be a family, right? Okay. Family. Family. In Hebrew is written as Ma. Let me write the Shah properly, right? Ma, Shah, Pa, Ka. Right? Ma, Shah, Pa, Ka. Right? Compound word. You got the Ma at the beginning on top of the Shapak. Right? Do I have time to break it down? Probably not. Right? If you do have time, someone inquire about the breakdown of why there's a Ma in front of the Shapak, then we can get down to the Shapak and break down how our forefathers built up this word to make this mean family, right? I'm going to say as written, Ma, Sha, Pa, Ka, Ma, Sha, Pak, Ma, Sha, Pak, Ma, Sha, Pak, right? To say family, right? Now, I want to say this is y'all family member, right? Okay, well, this is y'all child. Child in Hebrew will be Yalad. Right? It's a boy, child, right? Child, I think it's a boy, right? Yalad. Right? To say young person, young man, Yalad, right? Now I want to say y'all child. Okay? I want to say y'all child. Someone give me in the chat. Write down y'all child. Masculine. Right? Give me y'all child in Hebrew. We got child here, Yalad. We got possessives come right here, right? I want this one right here. Child, right? Tell me what you got. Y'all child. When you go to any country, as I've been explaining earlier with the English, Scripture says there's wisdom in traveling, right? So when you travel to another place, you get to see that the way other people think outside of the country that you are in, their mind's frame is very different. The way they put their words together, or the manner that they put their words together, is different. You know what I mean? The most obvious example, we live in America. We have English speakers here and Spanish speaking people here, right? And in America, you say that's a red car. When you go to a Spanish country, they word things different. They don't say red car, they say car rojo. Carro rojo. All right? Just as an example. All right? So expect to have the same thing in Hebrew, where things are not going to be written in the same manner in sentence structure as you would in English, right? Is it good to try? Yes. Get familiar with vocabulary, right? Right? But just expect when you read the Hebrew, you have to try to pick up the manner of what is being written, right? And try to just get used to just trying to comprehend what you're reading. All right? You're not going to get it all the way, of course not. You're not going to see the manner in the Hebrew and always write it out the same. As even over time, when you read in the Hebrew, the manner of the language changes over time too, because they're different generations, we're exposed to different nations, and we're losing a language, picking it up, losing a language, our children going here and there, and our manner is being changed, right? But you want to, our job in getting our language back in our kingdom is to try our best as we can as to try to get our tradition of speaking back. You see what I'm saying? Which is only going to be given by the Lord. You see what I'm saying? So you're trying to get your language back, and you're a sinner, you might fail somewhere. You might fail. You know what I mean? You You're not gonna get. The Lord is not gonna give you certain things. All right. Okay. We got any answers on the board about a young child or their young child, their child? At the bottom, way to the bottom. It's going to be the most recent. It's the most recent thing I asked. Do we have any attempts? What we got there?
Young child, got cop, we got calm. Yeah, yalad.
Calm, yalad is wrong. Why? Why is calm yalad wrong? Calm yalad is wrong. Why is calm yalad wrong? What am I trying to say? Is this? I just explain this. I just explained in English. You would have red car. In Spanish, you have car rojo. You see what I'm saying? Where do possessives always go? Always, no matter what. Always goes
to the end of the word.
At the end of the word, what was you gonna say?
I said after.
After the word, at the end of the word, right? So after possessive. So all of these up here. All of these up here, right? You're gonna write them after the word. At the end of the word, after the word. So what was the mistake that the brother made here?
Slack it, sir. He put the possessive at the beginning of the word.
He put the thing that belonged at the end of the word at the front of the word.
At the front of the word.
He put the possessive at the front of the word when possessives don't belong at the front of the word. Because if I do this with a wa and a ha, that don't mean ha and that don't mean is. Ha as a possessive, as a preposition, right? Ha as a preposition means the. Wa as a preposition means and. Ya as a preposition means he. Ka as a preposition means as or like. You see what I'm saying? So if you put anything at the beginning, you are changing what you are saying. That you're going to have miscommunications, and now someone's going to get punched in the face. Because no one understands each other, and I'm looking at him, and he's talking gibberish. He's never saying anything right. He never said anything to me. He's just yelling at me. I don't know what he's saying. You know what? Yell at me like that. And then he comes back and gets his gun. You see what I'm saying? He goes and gets a knife, and then this one over here getting a gun, and now everybody gonna die because of miscommunication. Everybody didn't get it. You see what I'm saying? That's why we got counsels, because in counsels now, you have you have a miscommunication. The counsel will have witnesses and judges to hear both sides of the matter, so everyone can state their reasons, and then there is a communication that became effective, right? Okay, so Kamilad is wrong. Do we have any other attempts online, Rataza?
Sapat, the yak.
Okay.
He ended up fixing it.
And he said?
He said, Yalad, Yalad.
Yalad. Yalad what?
Yalad.
Say it again. Spell it for me.
YALAD. KAM.
Good.
And Slack said also Officer 50 Ayash Yala. Put the same thing.
Good. This is correct. Your last comment how you write this, and it could be her child, right? Yalad ha, right? The pen is running out on me again. Yalad ha, which will be her child, right? Her child. Her child. What we got over here? We got y'all child. This is y'all child. This child belongs to y'all. He's lost. I think you guys left him on the train. You left y'all child on the train. Well, here's y'all child back. See what I'm saying? What else can we put here? We got their child, right? You got Yaladia. Right, Yaladia. Hold on, Yaladia. What is Yaladia? Yaladia would be my child. Right? What's the other one you said?
Yalad Nawa.
Right? So we got Yalad Nawa. Yalad Nawa. Right? Yalad Nawa. What would Yalad Nawa be, Partizan? Yalad Nawa.
Now,
Huh?
Slocky, sir.
Huh?
But your.
Your? You sure?
Oh, our, Slocky.
Okay.
Our.
Our child. Very good.
I was thinking
Very,
about the same thing.
very good. God.
Slocky.
Our
Our.
child. Right? Good. Now, when you read these in Hebrew, right? I want a different color for these, right? When you read, when you read this in Hebrew, right? Between the word and the possessive, there's not going to be no space there. There's not going to be no dashes, right? They're going to be written completely together as if it was one word. And if you are not trained in Hebrew, you're going to think, oh, this is a long word. Why? Because in English, we have long words. We have words like information, long word, communication, long word, legislation, long word. In English, you can put many words together and be one word. In Hebrew, everything is based off a word that is 2 or 3 Hebrew, for your sake, letters, right? Added with a tense, with or without a tense, added with a preposition or without a preposition, added with a possessive or without a possessive, added with a pluralization or without a pluralization to build on a word. All right? So, of course, I'm going to keep it here as we have to build from here. All right? So we have Yalad. I'm going to write it in the Assyrian Hebrew as that's what we would read, right? Okay? So we have Ya, La, Da. Right? And the Ha. Do I write the Ha over here? Do I put a space with the Ha? I'm writing her child.
Oh, go ahead, our child.
I'm writing her child.
Come.
I got to write the Ha though.
Come.
Do I put the Ha over here?
Oh, la.
Do I put the Ha over here?
La.
Do I put the Ha over here? Off the board over here.
La.
Where would I put the Ha?
Next is da.
Right next to the Da without a space. Without a space. See what I'm saying? So now when the context says her child, you see what I'm saying? You gotta be very careful to not say Yalada. Because it's not Yalada, this is Yalad Ha. Because we're saying the possessive. But not say Yalada if the context is not Yalada. Now, if you don't know, of course, just do you kind of sound everything out because you don't know what it is. You look at it and be like, Yalada Ha. It's good. You're reading the Hebrew. You're saying, you're sounding out the words. Just like any child would. Just like any young child. You got to say, this is a book. No, we got, hold on. No, X, Q, U, se, se. Someone who don't speak English, I'm going to teach him that. I'm going to say, sound out every sound of the, every letter that's on there. What sound does the N make? Nah. What sound does the O make? Oh. No, oh. No. No, oh. No. Right? Excuses. Sound, can you say excuses? Excuse? No, you don't know? Okay, no problem. Sound out every letter in the word. A, E makes A. X makes a sound. Right? X. Right? Q, U, se, se. Excuses. Right? Something like that, right? And we're like children again, we do the same thing right here. We're doing the exact same thing right here, right? Good. What's the next one? We got Yalad, Ya. Right? Ya. Right? La. Da. Right? Da. And then I gotta write the Ya because Ya means what? What does Ya mean as the possessive?
He.
No.
My.
My. Good. Now the Ya, when I write it in the Assyrian, right? In the modern Hebrew, right? Do I write the Ya over here? Oh no. What about here? Do I write it there? No. Where should I write it? Where should I write it? Where's it up?
Next to the dot.
Right next to the dot. See what I'm saying? Right next to the dot. Right? Yalad, Ya. My child. Right? Now, what about over here? We'll write Ya. Right? La. Da. Come. Right? Is that good? Is that correct?
La.
La. Oh no, why not?
There's no slap is not raising my hand.
Yes.
There's no dashes. It's all one word.
Good, very absolutely right. Very good. What about that? Took away the dash away. Is that good?
La.
It's not good, you sure?
Come.
Give my hand. That's right. Stick with the rules. Damn right. Okay, so what do I need to do?
Erase it and bring it closer to the dot.
Erase it and bring it closer to the dot. Why? Bring it closer to the dot. You mean like right on the dot?
Say it again, sir?
You mean like right here, like on the dot like this?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. What about that? Is that good?
To me it is.
To you it is? Maybe it's my bad handwriting, right? Hold on. Let me see if this is what you'll get in that here. Okay. Is that good?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is this correct? Very good. Clap it up for y'all. This is correct. There's no space between the word and the possessor. See what I'm saying? When you see this is not a complicated word. All right? You don't look at this and go, oh my gosh, there's 5 letters in this Hebrew. I don't know what it means. How did it teach me no 5-letter words? Because there's none. There's no 5-letter word. Can there be a 5-letter name? Yes. But names are not the same as words. Names are made out of words. Right? And of course, even names, when they're made of more than one word, you cannot find nowhere in the Hebrew where the name has a space in the middle of the goddamn name in Hebrew. They're written all together like this, and everything you read in the Tanakh is going to be looking something like this, with maybe a possessive with a preposition here, like 2 letters, and then, you know what I mean, something like that. And then everything is going to be long like this. And you're going to have to learn to break it down to understand what you're reading. Now we're going to go to an extra. What time we got here? In the past? 8:40. Good night. Okay, we're running out of time. We're out of time. All right. So let's get the last one, so we can get into our examples. Right? Somebody remind me. Somebody ask next week, so we can get the possessors on the board. Okay. We have Ya, La, Da, Na, Wa. Good? Good? That's good? It's good, right? Yalad, Nawa. Good, right? Oh, no? Oh, my bad. Come on. Break it down.
No, it got sloppy, so it got to be closer.
You got to be.
It's one word.
You got to be closer. All right.
Have to be closer.
My bad. I'll just put this thing right here that says 2 arrows right here. Make it closer.
Let's make it closer. No, you have to erase it.
Oh,
and
erase
bring
it.
it like
Okay.
closer to the dot.
Okay. Sure.
Come.
What if I just, let's put an and here, and.
Well, it's like it says, you don't put an and, unless you're going to put a Y.
Okay, all right, no problem, right? What about this? Good? Bring it all together like that as one?
Come.
Looks like a long word, you sure?
Come.
Very good. Clap it up again. Okay, very good, right? Okay. We'll keep this on the board. I'm gonna keep this on the board at the top here. Okay. Sidebar. Can someone give me Revelations 2 and 9?
2 and 9.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Revelations chapter 2, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
Keep reading.
And I know the blasphemy.
Is that the same verse or the second or the verse after?
That's no, that's still in the same verse.
Okay. And what verse is this again?
Revelations chapter 2, verse 9.
Okay.
I know thy blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Okay. Can you come over here and read that for me, please? Right over here.
Come.
Mm-hmm. Revelations 2 and 9, right?
Come.
Right where it said, I know, right? Go ahead.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
But thou art rich. You read it.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
We've been teaching Hebrews today, right? Right? Hebrew is the language of the Jews. Now, the Lord said He knows them which say
they are Jews.
The people that say they are Jews
and are not.
And Jesus Christ, which is the mouthpiece of God, said the people that say they are Jews in 2022, right? Who have been saying that they are Jews in the 1800s and the late 1700s. They who have been saying they are Jews in the Americas are now named Newark. And they got synagogues all over Brooklyn and took over Crown Heights. So people that say they are Jews, they are what?
They are not.
They are not. Keep reading.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
And that is, thus saith the Lord. All right? Good night. The water, right? Almost that correct, right? Now let's go get the, we're going to go to, we don't got a lot of time. All right? We're going to get Exodus 20. I don't want that one. I want the other one. We're going to get Exodus 34 and 22, all right?
Come.
Okay. Exodus 34, 22. When you can, brother, you just read that for me, all right?
Come.
Baruch Hashem.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And thou,
Yeah, go ahead.
And thou shalt observe the feast of the weeks, of the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the feast of in gathering at the year's end.
Okay. So this was the verse where you can read about the Feast of First Fruits. Okay. What I want to do is I want to write down the words in Hebrew as I read it in the Tanakh, and I want to break down, right? I want us to be able to interpret what we are reading, right? Okay. Right, so nice and big so everybody could see what's going on here, right? Okay. Yeah, let's work with that for now, right? Okay, first of all, can everyone see this, what I wrote on the board online? How's it look on the screen there? Or maybe I should never did it like this, right? I should wrote it out in English letters, right? So we can follow along with pronunciation, right? Let me do that instead. So we can follow along, because I know people online might be new. I would love to have a class where we just do only Hebrew, I can talk in Hebrew, and you know what I mean? But of course, we're not near there yet, all right? So let me work with let me go in the same plane as everyone else's pronunciation. So when you see this, you can sound it out yourself at home. Okay? I had a Dr. Pepper around here somewhere. All right. No problem, right? Oh, sorry. So, of course, in English, in Hebrew, we write from right to left, but in English, it's the opposite way, right? So, what I had them, I write it out as I saw on the Tanakh, right? You're gonna see this. You're gonna see wa kaf, all right? Then you're gonna see sha by, okay? And then you're gonna see Aisha. Sha. Okay? And what else we're gonna see here? We're gonna see Baka warrior. Ba ka war. Pen is fading over again. Blue is on. I think blue might be my favorite color. Okay. My favorite color is dying on me. On this pen here. Of course, not in real life. Baka warrior. And then we got Quatazayar. How does the blue look here on their Quatazar?
It's good, sir.
Most sacrifice. That's a hot tayam. Yum. Now, if you look at this right here, right, and you cannot make out what this is saying, that is a sign that we have a lot to learn about being an Israelite, including myself, because I don't know what some of this is saying. You see what I'm saying? So we have a long road, a long road to walk, right? Okay. Wakag. Let's see if I can get the rest of the bottom right here. If I can get it all on the board, right? Because we're down to Hatayam, right? So we got Wa, Kag, right? Wakag. So we got Ha, Asayam. Ha, A, Sa, Ya. Any questions? Was there any questions before line on Professor?
Say that again, sir?
Were there any questions that we missed? We're coming to the end of class, our last 10 minutes.
For the last 10 minutes?
Uh-huh.
We have, I see this question right here.
Uh-huh.
Shield of the truth, Magun, Shaw, Amaf.
Okay.
Hebrew word for officer of 50 is Gabal, Shaw, Kamash, Yem.
So what do you say? That's the name?
Yeah, it was a
Okay,
Hebrew word for officer of 50.
Hebrew word for officer 50. So his name
Yes.
his name of the officer's name.
Yeah,
What's the word though he's trying to get?
It is Hebrew word for officer of 50 is Gabar, Shaw, Kamash, yeah.
Kamash, yeah. No, office, okay.
Yes or no?
No, that's not the word for officer 50. Gabar, right? Gabar is the word for warrior, right? Warrior, right? Gabar is not the word for officer. Okay? An officer, okay, number one, to be an officer, it means you hold an office. You see what I'm saying? An office is a place in an office building. An office building is not the battlefield. Okay? Now, can an officer be a warrior? Yes. In our culture, a man is to be a warrior. Right? Our culture, our city was called a city of peace. You see what I'm saying? And that's Yerushalayim, right? What's the one with the lakam in there? Jerusalem, right? What's the one with the lakam? One of them got the lakam. Bethlehem, right? Bethlehem is house of bread. Now the word bread, right, is the same with a fight, right? But in the Israelite culture, we have a culture of warfare, because if you're blessed by the Most High, you win in war. And the Most High always required us to go to war with the other nations, right? For the Israelites, right? Now, a captain over the Lord's army, he's a warrior too. So if Gabar is the word for officer, then Gabar is not the word for a captain. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, when you're reading the scriptures, the main word for a captain would be a shar, which means prince, right? Because this is our terminology, right? But the proper word for officer, okay, let's start captain. Captain is saran. You've seen this a couple of times, brothers will call calling on the Coastline radio show, and they would refer to Captain Tazarek as Saran, because captain is Saran in Hebrew. Officer is Kwa. Hold on. Officer, right? Officer. Right? In the Hebrew is Kwa Ta Zayan. All right? We have the praise in here. Where's the praise at? Right here, right? Okay.
Slack, sir. I see,
Right quick. Hold on. Slack. Okay. Everyone knows in every school, right? You have a blessings for the rank structure, right? The prayer is called the blessings, and you're gonna have the names for Commanding Junior Hana, right? Commanding General Johanna, right? The generals, the captains, the officers, right? And officer is Kwatazayan, right? And then you got the troopers, Ha Ka Yayalyam, right? Ha is the, Ka Yayal is trooper or soldier, right? And Yam is plural, right? Right? And then you got the sisters, right? Right? So you got the rank structure very close to your all times in your local school location. It's not hard to get, right? So if you're not sure, if anytime you're not sure, or you might doubt, you might forgot what the word is, you can revert back to your prayers. It's very, very easily acceptable. It's very easily accessible, right, in your zone, all right? So Gabar is warrior, right? I put Shah on here because when you look up captain, for the most part in Hebrew, a captain is a prince. Captain Desire is a real life prince.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Anywhere he goes, he gets the treatment of a prince. He's a prince in real life. Right? Have you ever met Captain Akar? That brother is a prince, man. You know what I mean? He's a prince. Everyone knows that this is the prince that you do not, you watch how your face is around him. Be careful of what emotion you have on your face when you're around him. People in public gotta be careful. This is whole demeanor, the vibe, the spirit, and people in public gotta be careful of how they walk or where they walk and the expression on their face when they're near him, because he's a prince.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Real talk. Right. Also, big up to Captain Tazaiwan, newly raised up Captain Tazaiwan, Captain Galawan in Trinidad,
That's right.
and Captain Napataza Alaban. And when you meet them brothers, they are princes. You see what I'm saying? They have the vibe of a prince. All right? Okay? No problem, right? So let's get on with the scripture here. I know we are out of time. Okay?
And Salaki Alawan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think earlier it was the same person just asking what is the Hebrew word for knowledge.
Knowledge would be hadai.
And also for
Hadai, all right?
wisdom and understanding.
Wisdom would be hakam. All right? Wisdom, understanding is wisdom. Understanding would be knowledge too. Understanding will be the same thing as knowledge in Hebrew. All right? Okay, those are good ones because those words come all the time. Let me see if I can write them. Let me write them in this corner right here. Okay, let me write them right over here. Let me write them in green or something. Okay, let me see, right? Knowledge. Knowledge, right, is ha-dive, right? The root word of knowledge is know, right? Know in Hebrew is die, right? A lot of times you might see as yadai, right? You got Officer Yadayo in Philadelphia, right? I asked that brother what his name means. Know the brothers that labor among you. if you know what their name means, right, you're gonna pick up on vocabulary. You know, we taught Officer Protazar's name earlier. His name means breakthrough. What does that mean? You now know the word for breakthrough. Breakthrough. Every time you see this brother, you're gonna know that his name means breakthrough. You see what I'm saying? And now for the rest of your life, just because you know him, you know the word for breakthrough. All right, you got Captain Aria. You see what I'm saying? Captain Aria, his name means the lion. Lion. Like the animal, the lion, the symbol for the tribe of Judah, right? And because you know him, you always know the word for lion. It's one of the first words brothers know. Of course, in everybody remembers head priest Arya, very extremely famous man in Israel, right? Everyone loved him. And what does head priest Arya's name mean? The lion. It means lion. So, number one word of everyone's back after Shalom, Arya, because of head priest Arya. Because UPK matters. You see what I'm saying? That's what it all boils down to. When it comes down to being an Israelite, UPK is what it's all about. Okay?
Like the other one.
Yeah.
For the Hebrew word for knowledge, they have to be the word that's in the last letter. You can barely see that.
Yeah, okay. You have know, right? And then you have knowledge, right? So the difference in know and knowledge, right? It explained in the thought at the end of the word here, because that thought is saying that this is the world of this thing. You know what I mean? That thought, you always look at the thought as this is the world of that thing. You see what I'm saying? You got Shabbat right here, right? This is talking about the seventh, right? Or the day of rest, right? But you're gonna see these things when it's pertaining to the thing that's mentioned before. So you see the thought here is pertaining to the thing that was mentioned before, right? Now the only thing is these things are not classified as possessives. You know what I mean? They're not on our list of things to go up here, right? But these things will go up in the list of like yum is plural, right? Yum is plural. We wouldn't put yum up here, but then it's not possessive. See what I'm saying? So that's a class for another week though. Okay? Okay, no problem, right? Now, as I said before, everything, this is Exodus 34:22, right? Everything consists of 2 and 3 Hebrew letters, right? And now, your job in seeing this is figuring out how to break everything down here. Number one, wakag. For what I know, there's no word called wakag. But there's a Y here and there's a cog here, and there's a cog here, right? Cog is the word, right? How do I break that down? I have to look at the beginning of this word, and I have to say to myself, every single word I look at, is the first word here a preposition? Is Y a preposition? Yes.
Oh, no, your questions, what you just said?
Is Y a preposition?
Is Y is a preposition? La.
It's not a preposition.
La.
You don't know. Okay. Y is a preposition. So when you see wakag, the way to figure out what wakag means is to identify the preposition. Preposition means pre. Preposition means pre means before. Preposition. This is the word in position. Preposition means before the word in position. All right. You might have thought I'm in possessive. That might have been my bad, right? But is Y a preposition? Okay, good. Do you know what it's a preposition for?
And.
Very good. Right? So Y is a preposition to say and. Right? And I'm only writing like this because this is how you're going to see it in the Hebrew. What I'm referring to is this word right here. It's written like it got 3 letters, right? But it's really a preposition and a word. Okay? And then of course we just saw what was written on the Tanakh here. So we know that kag is the word left. And kag is the word for. Let's do on this thing here, right? Can everyone see this partisan?
Right there.
Right there. Can they see this over here?
Okay.
Okay. What is it saying?
Say wakab.
Okay. But what does it say in English?
English is say end the feast.
Okay. Good. So how do we say and here?
Wakab.
Nope.
Oh, how we say and?
And.
Oh, wow.
Good. What's left?
Cog.
So what does cog mean? Cog. What does cog mean?
Feast.
Very good. And that is how you have to treat the Hebrew as you learn it. Right? So we got wa is and. What's left is feast. Oh, that's blue. Let me get black. Okay? What's left is cog, and cog means feast. Is this clear or not clear? All right? Good. Right? Breaking it down. So we got Shabbat. When you hear Shabbat, you're gonna know. First of all, right? Shabbat is what is Shabbat? Shabbat. We know our numbers in here. Akkad, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash, Shah, Shabbat. Shabbat is the word for 7. See what I'm saying? 7. Okay. What do I do with the black? I just had the black this now. Okay, Shabbat is 7, right? Okay. And then we got here the TH in this case, right? Treat this like 7th. All right? Right? Because the thigh is pertaining to the 7th. Right? Let me write it a little closer. Right, 7th. What's next is Sa, Aisha. I'm missing the how on here. I am missing the how on here.
Is a question here on the wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, he said is a car come?
Yes. Did you write it properly? How do you spell it?
So you got K-A.
Uh-huh.
C-H-A-A-M.
Good. That's exactly how you write the word wisdom. All right. Go ahead.
Well, they end up separating the word for wisdom.
Okay.
Here you separate. You got K-A, then.
Oh no! You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that because what you're saying is like something. Okay, come, CHAAM by itself means hot, and wisdom does not mean like hot. All right. Okay, that's clear right here, right? So we're on to the third word, which is tha Aisha. Right? Now is tha a preposition? Tha. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Tha. Right? Not possessive. I'm not talking about possessives anymore. I'm talking about preposition, one before the word. Tha. Tha is a preposition, right? Do we know what it is for? Will do. Give her a hand. That's right. Right? Give her tha is a preposition. I'm mixing myself, right? For will do. Right? So now, out of this long word, which we written like this, right, in Hebrew, right? Tha I, sha, right? I break it down. This eliminates the difficulty of figuring out what it is, right? Tha means will do, future tense, right? Often it's the future tense, right? But it translates in English to will do, right? Will meaning you will do something, right? Now the word Aisha is the word for do. Aisha is the word for do. Aisha. All right. I should put the will here in red. Right. Well, that's how we talk in English. The same will, meaning future tense. Right. Aisha means to do or make. Right. In this case, we're talking about doing something. The feast is something that you will do. The feast is something that you will make. All right. Now we got Baka warrior. Right? Baka warrior. All right. Okay. Right. All right. So to make sure it's thick that everybody can read it. All right. Deep in color. Okay. For time's sake, we're looking at Baka war. Right? And the word says first fruit. Right? That's Baka war. But then there's a tense on here, and this tense in particular is a possessive. What does that mean? What does the yah mean as a possessive? Go ahead, Pertula.
You said what is the yah?
Yeah.
Oh, mine.
Right, good.
Possessive.
That's right.
Okay, Salaki, I don't want if I may. That's why. What more? Look like a statement or a question, and you say, Salaki, I don't want. The Assyrian letter spells the word different if I use the alphabet chart.
You can't. Oh, you gotta try and get through this, right? So
Come.
after we do this, we take a question, all right? So I can focus
Come.
on one on the other, right? Quarters a yard, right? Should be reap, right? If I had time, I go in there and take out the middle tense because there's a middle tense right here, right? This is a tense right here. This is a tense right here in the middle of the word, right? Is there any other ones? There is a tense right here, right? Saporapa. There's another tense right here, right? I mean, single them out more, right? These are tenses. It's something that we didn't get to go over today, right? It's very important to identify the tense, right? And for the most part, this is our own language. I mean, we built our language out of what's available in our language. But for the most part, the way of understanding it, the tenses is wa is like an ing, ya is like ed at the end of English words, right? Ed at the end of English words signifies past tense, right? Wa in English, right? Wa ing in English signifies a doing word. Okay? And using these tenses, we have now made our own words. All right, so we got first fruits here. Why? Because first fruits has to be gathered. Right? First fruits ain't just first fruit by itself. It can't be a first fruit unless you pick it. You know what I'm saying? There's something that has to be done to it. All right, so why is our way of saying a verb. All right? Okay. Okay. Quatazayar is to say harvest. All right, Quatazayar is to say harvest. Okay, harvest. Then over here we got katayam, where the yam is to make something plural. All right. We go over here to our concordance. You're gonna need your concordance is gonna become your best friend, right? Kata by itself, right? This is not kata'a. Kata'a means sins. This is kata. Kata, as you see here, means wheat, right? So when this is katayam, this is wheat, plural. All right? So we got kata, which is wheat. And as you see here, they remove the ha out of the kata in the word. Something you're going to see a lot. Okay? Okay, kata. And then the yam Y'all meant to say plural. I'm so glad we don't gotta go to work tonight. Okay. Love the feeling, man, of just not being away from slavery, man. You know what I mean? Right, we got wa, ka, right? Wa as a put as a preposition in front of the word. Wa as a preposition. Remember that what that is? Wa in front of a word. Wa and good. And right. Then we got the word again. Cog. What does cog mean? Yes, what's up?
Peace.
Peace. Very good. Right. We got another text here. We have ha, yasa. Is ha a preposition? It's a preposition, right? Because this is ha, ya, sa, pa. Ha, sa, ya, pa. 5 syllables. Too long. Too long. Can't figure out what it is. Gotta break it down. We got the tense here. We got the tense here to say this is past tense, right? So without that, we have ha, asa. Take away the ha, right? Because ha means the, right? Ha means the. So this, what we're doing here is the elimination process, right? To figure out what things mean, right? So without the ha, we have asaya. We take out the ya. We're left with asap. What does asap mean? I put asap into my concordance, right? And asap means it says in gather. It's giving me asayap here. The real way is to go straight to the concordance and get asap, because we want the mind of the Israelites, of our forefathers. We want the mind of our forefathers. That's what we want, right? Hold on, Slakia. Oh my gosh, I went to the wrong book again. Slakia. Hold on. Strong's Concordance, okay. Strong's Hebrew Dictionary of the Bible. And we want so we're nearby. No, we're too far. Hold on. We're going to asap, right? Asap. So we got asayak, asawan, right? And we want asap, which is at the bottom down here. And it says a primitive root. Hence it said root. Meaning what? Asayak is not the root. Ha asayak is far from the root. Our job is to find the root to understand what it's saying. You remove the preposition ha, so we can get closer to the root. We remove the ya in the middle, the tense, the past tense in the middle of the word. Remove the tense so we can get to the root. And the root we're left with is asap. Right? Asap is the root, the primitive root. Primitive meaning prime root. Can you read it? Can you read it? Right? A primitive root. To gather for any purpose. Hence to receive, take away, remove, destroy, leave behind, put up, restore, right? Put all together, receive, recover, right? Reward. In other words, you're given in the mindset of English words that is likened to this, right? Right? So the whole idea is together. And when we go into the English, right, it says the in gathering. In gathering. So in other words, it's really supposed to say gathered, because that ya is a past tense. Gathered. All right. So asap is gather. Asayap is gathered. All right. Right at the bottom of the board right here, so we can have an idea. All right. What did it? Read the verse in English again. It's Exodus 34:22, right? Okay. And even that example right there was very good too, because they give you some English word that got an ing in there when we looked it up. Asaya. But the mindset of what it really is gathered. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's really saying. And that's why so sometimes books will trip you out. As Commander Giuliano will say, he don't like books. He don't like no book. Commander Giuliano said that he don't like no book at all. And I see why. Because these heathens have made these books and they're all over the place. It could be a brother that made the book, but the brother has not been given the truth from the Most High. You see what I'm saying? So he's doing the research that he can, and your thing in using the books is to use it to prove your point to see whether it is right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? You have to put witnesses against each other to see what is right and wrong. Okay? So when you read it in English, right, where you got the Exodus 34 and 22, go ahead.
What the entire verse?
The entire verse is good.
And thou shalt.
Hold on. And thou shalt, meaning the verse starts here. But in English, it's reworded for English sake. Meaning, and thou shalt, and is here. But thou shalt is over here. Meaning, and you will do this. Shall means you shall do, right? Keep reading.
Shall observe the feast. And
it says observe the feast. Of course, we don't have the word observe here, right? But the feast here, right? Keep reading.
Of the weeks.
And the weeks is the 7th. These weeks right here, right? Keep reading.
Of the first fruit.
Of the first. It didn't say of. It didn't even say the here. It didn't say of the first fruit. It just said first fruit. Bakawar. Right? Keep reading.
Of wheat harvest.
Of wheat harvest. And it goes, it didn't say wheat harvest in Hebrew. In Hebrew, it says harvest wheat. Did it say wheat or wheats?
Oh, it say wheat.
Wheat harvest, right? Singular, right? When in Hebrew it's plural. You see what I'm saying? Giving you the mindset, meaning this is not just you just bringing your wheat right here. This is everybody bringing their wheats, plural. Meaning, you look at this and be like, oh, this is a small feast to have in my house by myself. And then you see fake Israelite groups and people who are Israelites on their own, they're going to have the feast on their own. But the wheat says, this is everybody's bringing their food here. And by wheat, what's made out of wheat? Flour is made out of wheat. Pasta is made out of wheat. Bread is made out of wheat. Pasta, bread, pasta, right? What else is it? Dumplings is made out of wheat. Dumplings, what else? Donuts is made out of, we're having a feast. This is a feast. Donuts, pasta is in that lasagna, that's wheat, right? Pasta, donuts, the Benjamite dumplings, goddamn the roti, whoever having a roti, the Trinidad roti, you know what I mean? Some of the tortillas can be made out of wheat. Tortillas usually made out of corn, right? But you got the Benjamite roti is like Benjamite tortillas, all right? No problem. Oh, sorry, shock too, right? But no problem, right? That's the mindset. Though the sentence structure is a little different. So in English, wheat harvest. In English, wheat harvest. In Hebrew, harvest wheat. Right? Because harvest is a verb. It's doing something. That's why you got the past tense on there too, because this is something that is harvested. Meaning what? Meaning what? Quatazar. Quatazar by itself. Quatazar. Quatazar is really harvest. Right? Harvest. Right? Quatazayar is what? Guess what? Who can tell me what quatazayar is? What is the yar in the middle of the word mean again? In the middle of the word. Middle of the word.
Oh, in the middle of the word.
The tense is like saying ed, right? Ed in English is like saying past tense, right? So if I want to put an ed on harvest, what do I have?
Harvest.
Harvest with the ed.
Ed.
Say it.
It's past tense.
It's past tense. So how would I say harvest in past tense?
Harvest.
Harvested. Very good. Harvested. So now we got the first fruits, my first fruits, harvested wheat. Now there's an instruction going on here. You see what I'm saying? Harvested wheat. Now it's just a harvest wheat, like we said in English. Wheat harvest. Right? Of course, that's English terminology. Here we got harvested wheat. Meaning everybody harvest. What does it mean to harvest? It means to go get the stuff you had and put it in a bunch. You see what I'm saying? So it's the stuff you collected out of the fields. You see what I'm saying? Now you harvested the weeds, right? And the feast, the gathered, then we got what? Ta, kwa, wa, pa. Again, our job is to find the root. Oh, we still got the verses there, right?
No, yeah, that's what I'm about to read.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
And the fruit, and the feast.
And the feast.
And the feast.
Uh-huh.
Of the ingathering.
Of the ingathering, right? Which is the gathered in Hebrew, right? Ingather in English, right? In Hebrew, there's no ingathered. You want to put in and gather, because that makes no sense in our language, because in means you go in a box. You go in the house. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make no sense on us. We're not going in anything. So in our language, we're talking about the thing that we're doing. We're more direct with our language instead of it's confused in English. Right? So the ingathering is really the gathered. Right? As the Yah is the past tense. Keep reading.
At the year end.
At the year. Hashanah means the year. Hashanah means the year. Right? At the year end. So now we got to figure out what this is over here. Because we have this in Hebrew here. We want to break it down. There's a thought at the beginning of the word. Is a thought a preposition?
Preposition, will.
Yes, it is. Very good. The preposition to say will, meaning future tense again. Right? Future tense. It's how we write future tense in Hebrew, right? Hashanah, for the time. Hashanah is how you say the year. Right? Hashanah is the year. Year, right? So Shana is how you say year. Year, right? Yearly, around the year, right? Now we got this thing right here. We got kwa, wa, pa, right? So now we're gonna go to our concordance and look at what this tha, kwa, pa is. It says right here on the interlinear end. All right? It coming around from na pa, that's what it said, right? A revolution of the sun, a time around. So it's talking about the year, right? And its circuit end, meaning this is the end of the harvest of the fruit. Meaning this is the life of the fruit from when spring started. Spring started, this is the time of the end of the harvest. All right? This is the end of the year of the harvest, right? For the years of the fruits or whatever it is, right? So let's get let's see Kwa Pa right quick. See if we can get Kwa Pa. This is how I usually navigate my concordance, right? You're gonna go through a little trial and error. You look for Kwa Pa to see there's nothing there, and there might not be. We got Kwa, right? It says monkey or an ape of a foreign origin, meaning this is not an Israelite word. A foreign origin. You go to foreign land, you see a monkey, and it's pronounced as quap, from what we can remember in the records, quap. All right. So now this is not talking about monkeys. So quap is not there. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So we go back to our tha kwawa pa, and it says origin is ti kwapa. Okay. Kwapa, or from na kwap. All right, so now we're gonna look for na kwap. All right, so let's go look for the slack here. We're gonna look for the na words. All right, na. We go out to na, and then we go to na kwa, and then we go for na kwa ya. Okay, it's na kwa. Na kwap. We got na kwap right here. And it says a primitive root to strike with more or less violence, or to compass, or to cut down, or destroy, go around. And this will be where all of the fruits get cut down. This will be the end of the fruit's life. And that is nakwap. All right? Surround or circulate the compass, of course. The plants endure the winter. The seeds have already been in the ground, right? And then the seed sprout a tree, right? And that tree will bear fruit, and the fruit is the end of the process of the tree growing from a seed to a plant, to a tree, and the tree brings root. And that is its circuit of life, all right? So Kwapa is really to say, and feast the gathered of the, how do you say that? The circuit, right? Circuit, let me get a better word in English, right? Circuit of the, huh? Cycle, right? Now, Kwapa, we got surround, we got circulate, we got compass, right? Cut down, destroy, go around, right? Circulate, compass, which is a cycle. All right, so let's put the word here for cycle. Very good, right? Okay, we got green here. Okay, this should have been red. This would have been cycle, right? Because it's to say to circulate, to surround, right? Circle, right? Will is, we'll put the will in red here, right? Will, okay? Good, and we are done, right? So, and the feast, seventh, they use this to say weeks, right? They use this to say weeks, right? Because 7 days make a week, all right? We got another pen, another color pen. We're getting brown. Okay. Week. Oh, hell no. Okay, what else we got here? Nothing. Let's try this left right here. Oh my gosh. Garbage, garbage. Okay. We got blue here, we got, let me put it red here, right? Let me put it red. All right, weeks. All right, weeks, all right? So they put the word seventh to say weeks. All right, no problem, all right? Good. Now, before we go, let's get the questions that was online, just so they can never say that we don't never answer their questions. Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, here's we have a question that just came in, so.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's see, choosing one in a kit. That's the name. That's the name.
Okay.
It seems serious question. It seems that this version of Hebrew only has one vowel. Am I wrong?
This version of Hebrew only adds one vowel. I don't know what she means. All right, one vowel. We got a vowel here, and we got a vowel here. All right. Past tense is the past tense of a. Okay, vowel. Okay, she said vowel, right? What am I thinking? I'm thinking of verb. She's vowel.
If I may, for that, she said this version of Hebrew.
Oh, this version. Okay, no problem. Okay,
that
so
was the main.
This version. So I'm sure she doesn't understand that Hebrew only it consists of. Let's get the books. Let's get the book over there by Yale University. You want to get it for me? The one at the bottom right there of the books right there, right? So why she might ask a question. All right, no problem. That's what class is for. Okay. Of course, we're going to go to page 3. Let them know where the book came from. We're not making this up. Okay. You're going to stay nearby, right? This is a book we got here from Yale University, right? It's a book called The Biblical Hebrew Text and Workbook. You can get this on your own on Amazon for like $60 or to $100, right? This is a book from the Yale language series because the book comes from Yale University. This is the money that your drug dealers will take and your high society black Negro folk will take all of the high Negro society money and take, their children to these expensive schools to go to Yale University to learn this thing here about Hebrew if they were to ever take a class on Hebrew, right? We go to page 3, right? Right? And you're gonna read from the top right here, right? Page 3 in the top right here, right? Go ahead.
The Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world.
Right, so meaning Hebrew is the first language in the world. The Hebrew alphabet is the first set of alphabets in the world. Now, the slave master, the white man's academia, is not going to say this. He's going to look to Egyptian language being the first and something in Africa being the first. But Yale, right, is saying that Hebrew is the oldest in the world.
Is the oldest in the world. Still in use today.
Still in use today, which is why the sister is saying, is that sister? Sounds like a sister. Okay, the version, he said this version of Hebrew, right? Because what they're saying in this book here is there is a version of Hebrew that is in use today, which is what the person who asked the question is referring to, right? Keep reading.
Our own alphabet is a descendant of it by a circuitous route.
Right, circuitous route called right, or not quap, right? In Hebrew, right? Circuit or cycle, right? So what they're saying is even English today, we went over this earlier, right? Even English is today, the modern English. The alphabet of the modern English is born out of Hebrew. English language is born out of Hebrew, right? Keep reading.
The text of the Hebrew Bible we use today reflects several periods of development.
And that's why this person was talking about a version of Hebrew, because Hebrew, from the Israelites' Hebrew to the modern day Jewish man's Hebrew, has periods of development to make it change from what it was to what you might see today. Where today you even got the Gesh dash systems, which was never there in the ancient Hebrew, right? In the original Hebrew, right? Keep reading.
Originally, only the continents.
Originally, meaning the origin, right? Meaning the language itself, right? Originally, read.
Originally, only the continents.
Only the consonants. Only the consonants. He said, this version of Hebrew, you got no vowels. You only got one vowel. Because what we're trying to say is that there's no vowels. That's why we write down da, because da is one Hebrew character. I is one Hebrew character. Sha is one Hebrew character. Ha is one Hebrew character. Right? No vowels. I'm writing R and the R's in there, so for your English pronunciation's sake, as the scholars will write it, but originally
only the consonants were used.
Originally, only the consonants were used, meaning there was no O's, no U's, come on now, no E's, because O's, the U's, and the E's are vowels, and you wouldn't put an R behind every single goddamn consonant, as I'm writing here for your pronunciation's sake, because to understand English, you need to put an A vowel so you can pronounce the word. Like if I took the R and the R out of here, then you'll be saying shubuth, which is not what you should do. You put the R there because your English tongue requires an R there. You see what I'm saying? So now the modern Hebrew that you see today is added European vowels. Is there any more there?
Come.
Okay, go ahead.
By the time of the Israelites' kingdom,
and by the Israelite kingdom, I don't think they mean the actual Israelites. I think they're talking about the Jewish man's Khazarian kingdom, who was trying to escape war between the Ottomans and the Christian Dome, and they converted themselves to Judaism, called themselves Jewish, right? Meaning before that they were not Jewish, right? Between the Ottoman and the Christian wars, they were not Jewish, but they found it a great benefit to convert to Judaism, talking about the Khazarian Empire, talking about the white Jews, right? Keep it in.
Some continents, Ha-wa-ya, was used to indicate certain vowels.
That's the ha, right? So that's the ha, the what? The wa, right? And what else?
Na.
And
ya,
right? Right? So these became, right? The Jewish man changed the language, which was not even his, right? and put these things to indicate vowels, meaning they were not vowels before. So of course, the Y will become like a U or something, or O, and this will become like an I, and I think this will become like an A. Right? That's what they would do to get the sounds. Where it was not originally like that, because originally only the consonants were used, okay? And I think that's it for that question. We can drop that, all right? Okay? The Isupk is right and you're wrong, all right? No problem, right? Meaning our version is right, and whatever version you had in your mind was the wrong version. It was not. The scripture says to seek ye the old path. You're on a new path, meaning you're on the wrong path. The new path never works. You know what I mean? You know what's the new path in America? The new path of America is LGBT. Everything has got that LGBT in this new world. We don't want this new world. We was carried to the new world as slaves. We want the old world, man. So you want? We want to go home. F this new world, man. And F that new Hebrew we talking about too. Salakia, right? But if you're an Israelite, we love you, and you're a brother. If you're a brother. Right? If you're not a brother, then you know what I mean. We'll see you in chains in the future, right? Anything else?
Sorry, Slack. I'm looking at the picture. Maybe it's they put a different picture, but they got look like the Scotland man in those skirts that they wear.
Oh yeah. Well, the Scots were black. The Scottish men were white.
That's right.
Right? The Scots were carried on slave ships, gathered at a place called Cowes, England, right? In a Britannic version of the Trail of Tears, and was carried to a place called Cowes, England, Cowes, England, and was gathered on slave ships to be carried on slave ships to go down to the island of Santhome off of the west coast of Africa, along with our fellow brothers being dragged on slave ships during the time of the Spanish Inquisition, also to be put on slave ships to be gathered on the island of Santhome off of the west coast of Africa, and also gathered together there with our brothers who were being captured by the Africans, being sold to these Portuguese and Spanish and English men, to be gathered on an island called the island of Santhome off of the west coast of Africa, out of the doors of Gorée Island and so forth, Port Yehuda, Port Wida, Port Benjamin, and Port Levi from Ivory Coast, right? To be gathered on the island of Santhome off into the sea, off the west coast of Africa, to be carried to the Americas. To be carried to the Caribbean, to be carried to Brazil, to be carried to Central America, to be carried to the North America, to be slaves. And that is the story of how the Israelites got here in slavery. All right, we was in Europe and Africa, escaping Roman persecution from 70 AD. You can go read this in the book. You can go read this in history. All right, here's the problem with history. When you're going back in time, if you're not looking for the Jews, then you'll never find the history of the Negroes. Right? If you're looking for anything about Negroes in history, you have to look for the Jews. The Jews were black. They were the Negroes. African Americans are really Jews. West Indians are really the Jews of antiquity from the past. The Haitians are really the Jews of antiquity from the past. If you look in history and look at 600 AD, and you look at the Jews and you try to put a white man in the place there, the path of history does not make sense to where they go to the area called the Khazarian Empire to become the people of the Holocaust in Germany. Those paths do not meet up. Okay? And if there are no more questions,
No.
and with that, I pass the class, the priest and officer of 50. Breath is up.
Men of Israel.
Okay, come over here, right?
Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel,